Okay, just going to invite Ryan now. Hopefully this works, because I've had a few hiccups with this the past few times. See if this works. Connor, I did one with actually, but it won't work properly. We done one in a little chat, but it didn't record properly. But we're gonna get him on again. Hopefully it works again this time. Let's see. I'm just waiting for Ryan to accept. Try again, please. Said he can't join. Invite. Right. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
You alright?
Oh, good. There you are. So we've got Ryan, the Mountain McNally, and Sean, Hammer Martin. How are you, lads?
Yeah, sound. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Just chilling out. How's training me going?
Brilliant. You can't stop him training. He's training 3-4 times a day. Him. Honestly,
Told you.
I think he's got a worm up his ass. Yeah. Stop training.
Told you. The
Yeah.
Mountain, isn't he? So, well, what do you think of that nickname anyway? The Mountain.
Yeah, it's alright. I like that. More like the Maniac. Hey.
The Maniac, yeah.
The Maniac, yeah. He's up the pole, honest to God. But no, I like that, the Mountain. Yeah, he's a big lad, and he's a big middleweight, like.
Yeah, I've always thought
Not the
that.
same size as me.
Yeah, you walked past me in the FC. I thought, fuck me, he's huge. Like, you're a massive middleweight, mate. Like,
Yeah, he is.
and obviously it's a nice little reference to Game of Thrones as well. But so first off, I want to just talk about BMF. You competed in that, obviously, tournament setting. You've sort of going to go down in history in a way because you're going to be the first champion of that ever. Could you talk a bit about that tournament setting and did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good. Like, wouldn't mind doing it again.
Yeah. Sean, can you just translate that?
He said it was good.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, we had that, the lads going in that tournament. Ryan's not much of a talker. You can tell I'm going to get some words out of him, like. But going into that tournament, we wanted the guy we got in the first round. That's the guy we were dead lucky with the finish. And then unfortunately, whatever Ryan thinks, but Joe couldn't continue in the final. And we're coming home. I'd just been down to Gloucester to corner one of the other middleweights, Tom Nicholas Burton, and he'd won with a head kick. And then just before we were walking out, we were like, Ryan's won with a head kick. And it was like waiting for the bus, and then 2 head kicks come along all in one night. But it was very lucky the way he won it, but it was also very, very well timed and skillful. So what you'll make it up in this game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so let's talk about the last fight then. So you had a beautiful body shot. Are you trying to take Bobby Pallett's nickname or something?
Yeah. Definitely. Coming from a boxing background, he's always said to me that body shots are underutilized in MMA, and yeah, especially he's wearing the 7-ounce gloves and he goes to the floors, be even more dangerous than knuckles going into your ribs. And you when that shot had gone in, the fight was done as well. You know what I mean? I knew when it had gone in, it was just like the The kid was someone, obviously, the kid trained, but I'm not going to say he was the best fighter in the world, but, you know, you can only fight who is in front of you, and he was tough, and he was in shape, but he only walks around at 84 kilos. I think he's made a massive mistake fighting someone who's weighing in at 84 kilos to someone who's walking around at 84 kilos. You know, he won't get back in that weight the night after, and that was a massive advantage for us. Sorry, I'm doing his talking, mate, but he's quiet as hell, him.
You did say you'd translate, but I didn't think you'd be speaking for him. You know.
The story, yeah.
Can you speak a bit about that fight? Did you know much about? I don't know if it's Kudo or Sudo. Did you know much about him going in?
No, I didn't know anything about it. We didn't know anything about him. Just knew he was from Doncaster and he was Polish. I seen him on the day. He was only like 5'9" or something. And he was small, and I just thought he's not going to be big enough.
Yeah. Is it mad for you? Because like, obviously I've looked at your record. Like now you're becoming known for like your power and stuff, and obviously Sean indicated a boxing background there, but you've actually had quite a few submissions on your record. Like, is it mad now that you're sort of becoming known for knocking people out essentially?
Well, I don't know. I don't really go for many submissions usually. Like I want to knock them out, but I've just ended up submitting a couple of guys.
I think that happens a lot with strikers. It happens a lot with strikers. Strikers end up with submissions on the record because people shoot on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I overheard. Say again, sorry, mate.
His grappling's very good. His offensive grappling's getting better and better all the time. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Definitely. I overheard when I was there. I overheard Conor Martin saying about you. You keep looking for the knockout. You need to take your time or something. Do you think that like you ever gonna change that? You know what I mean? Like
it was just a one-off that because I hurt him with the first shot, so I was trying to take his head off really, which I shouldn't have done. But I knew he couldn't hurt me, so I got a bit too aggressive. But I still got the knockout, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, seeing you training as well with Hignett, and I think you threw like a sort of uppercut and the pad flew halfway across the room. I was like, shit. Okay, now.
He just broke my wrist before then. I was padding him before then, and he'd missed the padding at my wrist, and he knew he'd hit my wrist. I was like, that biting. So I give the pads to Ignat, and Ignat took the brunt.
Yeah, mad. So yeah, beautiful win there. Love a little body shot to kill the lad up. Have him done. And then not long after that, you announced your next fight, FCC, December 19th. Elliot McGibbon. What's your views on him as a fighter?
I've seen a bit of him. Like he's a decent fighter. He's got a good record, but I'm not really like thinking too much about him. It's just more like what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Is that always your tactic, just sticking to what you want to do, what you're...
You have to have a look at them and see what they can do, but at the end of the day, it's down to me. It's not him who's going to win the fight. Or
yeah. Do you already do like so much, not research, but do you already look into it a little bit? So you might look at maybe his last 3 fights and just get a gauge.
He's had 4 fights. I've watched them all, but there's big gaps in between them. Like there was some from like 3 years ago, and then there's one fight from like 3 months ago. But I can't really look at his last fight because it was just against some idiot.
He's a very well-trained, well-rounded kid, and he's from a good emerging gym, to be fair. I coached Elliot for years, so I know Elliot quite well. So there's a lot of respect there, to be fair. There's no... It's just I think one thing you realise in the sport is it's a very professional sport, and you've just got to fight and then get on to the next fight. The way Ryan's philosophy is the best philosophy I've ever had with any fighter. He's not asked about taking a loss here and there. You know, he lost his first, even though it's not on his record, he lost his first amateur fight for us, and he's been on a tear up ever since. You know, it was like give him a kick up the arse. So, this fight coming up is just, it's a fight, and then he's off to the IMMAFs as well. So, He's got a lot of things going, and then he's got to fight for the Almighty title after that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You know, no injuries, because he's got a lot of fights. If he's going to medal in the IMMAFs, he'll have a lot of fights.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
he will medal.
Yeah, the activity's been off the charts. I mean, I was gonna highlight the loss, like as you say, it's not on your record, but you still highlight it as 5-1.
Yeah,
For
there's no point denying it, because then it's on YouTube, everyone can see it.
yeah, and that's why I've seen it. Yeah, no, it's funny because like I'll look into a few things, and then you'll have something different on your Instagram, like you've got it there, and then I look and it's like it's not on Tapology. It's like what's going on? But yeah, is the reason why it isn't on your record, or was it?
No, I just think I think they didn't. I don't know what happened to
I think the promoter, down to the promoter. When I used to run an amateur show in Liverpool, you probably remember the amateur cage battles. We were well known for a very famous riot. So anyway, I used to run that show, and it was always that if we had pro fights on or high level amateur fights, I'd always notify Tapology and Sherdog. To be honest with you, I respect Sherdog a little bit more. I think Sherdog have the record more accurately normally than Tapology. I mean, I remember having a guy who once he was 11-1, and Tapology had him as 2-1.
Honestly,
yeah. So it's one of those, you know. I like the 2-1 because I could get him matched.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's weird because I looked at Sherdog as well, and that just didn't have anything for yourself. So like, I don't know, it's mad. But yeah, again, like your activity's been crazy. You've got after this, you got another fight coming up in February at Almighty. I mean, what's your going on? Like, experience is the big thing, and there's something else I want to highlight in a bit. But do you want to keep this sort of activity going as much as you can?
Fight every month for the record. Just keep getting all the fights in, win a few belts, and then in the next couple of years or something turn pro. But obviously, the more wins I get as amateur, I might start off on a big pro show like Cage Warriors or Bellator. That's what I want to aim for.
Especially if he does well for England. You know, I think you've got to understand that it catapults you into the stratosphere. If you're going away and you're medaling in the IMMAFs, you know what I mean? I mean, we went to the junior IMMAFs a couple of years ago, and I'm blowing smoke up my own backside. She doesn't train here anymore, but she's a fantastic girl, Sophie Bellis. She was training here then, and she won the gold medal out there in Italy. So I'd love Ryan to have that same sort of experience, you know, because once you've medalled in, you go out there, and honestly, the level is the highest in the world. It is. You know, there's Americans there, Canadians there. There's big Russians there. So if you're medaling there, you're really amongst the world's amateur elite. You know, so respected. You know, Mark Goddard runs the IMMAFs basically, and it's unbelievably strict and well regimented organisation. Fantastic, really.
Yeah. That's something I'm going to get into in a bit as well. I just want to ask, so your first fight on your record was 2013, and then there was this big gap of like 7-8 years. What was the reason for that gap? Was you doing something else in that time?
I was boxing instead.
You're boxing, yeah.
Yeah. I've had 13 amateur boxing fights.
And what made you decide, I'm going to go back to MMA? What did that change?
I just fancied it because last year there was no fights on boxing at all. Tried a couple of the grappling classes and like got the buzz for it again.
Yeah.
So then I just ended up coming here more and more often, and then this is just now I'm here.
Can't get rid of him.
got a bed and everything.
He's lucky because him and Connor are at similar ages and have similar interests. You know, they've actually been out socialising together and that, so they're good friends. Not only is he coaching, Connor's grappling is one of the best, you know, young coaches I think in definitely in Merseyside, definitely in the Northwest. And you know, he taught Ryan a lot when it comes to the ground game. I've been striking for 30 odd years, you know what I mean? I've been kickboxing since I was a baby. So, you know, I've been working with Ryan with his coming off his hands with the high kicks. I'll put my hands up and say, you know, they're down to me, some of the high kicks that he was landing in. They are, because we worked that left head kick, and then the right finish off the over, because we knew the kid had come from the overhand right for the takedown.
Yeah.
We were working on the pads. I was bagging an overhand right and he was throwing the head kick, and it's the first time a game plan's ever fucking worked 100%, honest to God. I was like, me, it worked, perfect. But, you know, he's doing a lot of striking with me, a lot of pad work with me, and he's sparring with elite guys. He's got Ashley Reese, Bobby Pallett, Big Bertie, he's got Rolo coming down, he's got Matt Klempner, you know, Big Tom Burton, who's just immense, another Tom Nichols Burton is just another immense middleweight. Like, these two are so high level. And then we've got Michael Jewell coming through, who's elite striker. Needs a little bit of work, but his striking's elite. And he's 6'5" at middleweight. Is unbelievable. I've got another young middleweight coming through, Kane Walker, big black kid from Manchester, and he's 6'5", 6'4", and he's another beast. And he's only 19. So this kid's sparring at that level all the time. You know,
yeah.
and that's brought him on, to be fair, especially with the kickboxing. His kickboxing's improved more than any student I've ever had, because he was a naturally good boxer. I think if you can box, you can learn how to kick on the end of it, because that's my style, K1. You know, so where Muay Thai lead with kicks a lot. You know, where I believe lead with your hands, finish with a kick is my style.
And to be honest with you, I would rather you sort of take credit, you know, for work that you put in, because I think that, like, a lot of the time, the coaches, sometimes they go under the radar because obviously they want the best for the fighter, but, like, I think, like, I love the fact that you take credit for, you know, some of their amazing kicks.
But I do stress it is the first time a game plan's actually fucking worked. Right, so you know, I'm not taking credit for it. You know what I mean? It's just I'm made up of it. You know what I mean? I've got the humility and the fucking thank God it worked. You know.
So why is because you know the game plan might not work, do you come up with an alternative game plan then, just in case, or is it sort of on the go as you're in the cage fighting?
I remember BJ Penn saying something. He said years ago, BJ Penn said, in this game you don't need a plan A and B, you need a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and he recited the whole alphabet, you know. And obviously, if the shit hits the fan, you know, if you're fighting a good wrestler, you know, you might choose to wrestle them, you might choose to try and stuff the takedowns and strike, or you might not just change your game plan at all and think, well, if he's wrestling me, we'll just strike anyway. I know Conor McGregor changed his game plan for Khabib about 5 times because his game plan was to stay on the outside and just pepper him. And in the end, he thought, no, because I've won world titles, pressing forward and knocking people out. So I understood, you know, and let's be honest, he's probably the only person in history to take a round off Khabib doing it. You know what I mean? He's actually ever won a round against Khabib. You know, so I understand people that's the problem with fighting is sometimes there's too many plans. You just got to go with the flow in MMA sometimes. You just got to go where the fight goes. And if you've got a good corner, they can walk you through it better. That's the plan, like.
Say the biggest thing in MMA that you need to have is to be able to adapt.
He does it really well. He's a natural athlete, and he adapts really well to any situation.
I'd love to know, like, what your recovery is, because, like, with all this activity and all, as you say, you got the IMMAFs there, you've got a fight coming up soon, one in February. Like, obviously not to tell me, like, but, like, your recovery must be, like, spot on. You know what I mean?
As soon as I finish training, straight to just go to bed.
Is that your recovery? Yeah, a good sleep.
He can party with the best of them, though. Don't think he's no fucking you know, saint. He's not. But
right, okay.
He's got one of them like Viking physiques where he can go and eat shit and party for a couple of days, and then be in the gym 2 days later, pushing himself maximum.
Yeah.
He's a sweaty bastard as well, aren't you? Bad sweaty bastard. When you paddle him, it's all over you. Honest to God.
So he appears to be a quiet boy, but really he's an animal all round.
He's a very methodical, intelligent kid who thinks a lot about his fights.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm listening to the commentary of his last fight, and me and Arconnor in the corner going, "What the fuck are you doing? You're fucking trying to knock him out with every shot." You can probably hear Arconnor. "Stop loading up, you stupid bastard." And then you listen to the commentary team and they're going, "Oh, his striking's clinical." And me and Arconnor are thinking, we're shouting shit at him. So what it says is our standards in here are fucking very high. You know what I mean? So it is. It's funny because he was laughing about it because we were saying, but he knew he was loading up as well. Because I think when you go out, and I've been in fights myself where someone's hit me and I thought, they're not going to knock me out, they haven't got the power to do it, I can walk through them. And that's, I think, what Ryan felt early.
Yeah, that's what I landed the very first shot I landed, thinking it was a left hook, and he just wobbled, and then he had a little cut on his eye. So I just didn't respect. I just thought I've got him now whenever I want to. I think I was trying to get that highlight reel knockout again. Not a head kick. So I was trying to get like a big one punch knockout, but kind of right there in the end.
Is that what sort of this was about? You sort of put your arms up to him and said, "Come on, you've got nothing." You know what I mean? Is that what? Did you know at that point?
I was just pumped up with it, like adrenaline then.
Yeah. Every fighter says there's no feeling like that, is there? You know, the adrenaline and they knock someone out, and must be good stuff. So let's speak about the IMMAFs then. Obviously, you've got to be over the moon that you got into them. What was the trials like? I would guess they're pretty exhausting and extensive, like.
Yeah, it was tiring. We did a lot of wrestling, a lot of cage stuff. So just a lot like defense off the cage, stopping myself getting taken down. We didn't actually do much striking. I think we did 1 round of striking, 3 rounds of striking. Sorry.
Yeah. How long are the trials for?
How long?
Yeah.
I think I was there for about 2 hours, doing different stuff, different defences, like cage defences.
It's all functional MMA, isn't it?
Yes, defending if like someone gets you back. Then we did a few kickboxing and wrestling rounds at the beginning.
So what are the what's the criteria then for actually getting through? Like what are they scoring it on?
Being good.
Yeah, they're just looking at you really, and like seeing. You know, there's like a lot of lads there. There weren't actually many lads my weight, so that probably was a bit of a benefit. But they're just looking, seeing who they think's the best. Really, there's no like set thing. It's just like I think it was just like who they think is the best and who will fit into this team well.
I know they split it as well, so they'll do one trial where he went in like the Midlands. That's for all the people in the Midlands and the North, and I think they do one based round in London as well for the Southern kids as well. Because obviously there's a massive north-south divide in MMA anyway, because we're well better. Listen, talk around the houses about it, but we are just well the best. And if you want to know where the best is, it's Manchester or Liverpool. Probably Liverpool. Liverpool and South Wales at the moment are smashing it. And we've got loads of friends in South Wales, but you know, you go to the IMMAFs. I mean, we went to the IMMAFs last time, and like nearly all the whole team were from the Northwest, the whole England team, honestly.
Yeah, that
a couple of Alex Ellen's lads in there. He produces some amazing young lads. Alex Ellen up there in the northeast. He's brilliant. Alex. He had a couple of really good kids. Yeah.
And that just shows, you know, getting into something like that, you know, being the best. That does show if everyone in there got in who was from the north, that basically cements it, doesn't it? What you're saying there, that north produces the better quality fighters.
It is. I just think. Listen, there's been loads of good fighters from the south, especially the London area, you know. But you look at Liverpool as a city in general. You know, that eclectic mix we've got of not knowing whether we say we're Scouts, but we're not knowing whether they're English, Irish, or Scouts, or a bit of Welsh or whatever. So we're like a bit of a basket race, and I think what happens in Liverpool, everybody makes each other better. You know, there's a lot of. I mean, we get on with all the gyms in Liverpool. We're very lucky. You know, I'm quite an easygoing cat. Do you know what I mean? So we get on with all the gyms. I've got a good relationship with every gym in Liverpool. But some of the gyms don't get on. It's a well-known fact. You know, when it's like sometimes that's pushed certain gyms to be better. I think that rivalry, because you know it's a fight with the gym, and then you go out the city and people aren't that good. You know, people are just not as good as the Scouts kids. You know, and by the way, the Manchester kids as well. And there's the North in general. The North East got a lot of good lads as well. When I said the North, I meant the North, not just us. But the highest level gyms are in the Northwest. Well, the highest level gyms are in Merseyside, in my opinion. You know, so in this country, you know, I mean, there's very good gyms down south as well, and you know, there's Dinky Ninjas up in Scotland and higher level, You know, they're very good as well. All the gyms in Scotland are good. The Scots are just like Scousers, aren't they? The Celts.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, very similar, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, Sean, you basically talked about it a little bit. What's Ryan's work ethic like? Like you said there, like he's always in the gym, but
Unbelievable. I think Ryan come to me and he said, I trained him, I shouldn't say this, but I was training him through lockdown because he was fighting. But I was allowed to train the fighters, as you know. I had to get a pass for him because he was fighting. You know, I had to go to the police station and he was coming in on his own. It was just me and him and our Connor working together during the first lockdown. And then he started honing his MMA skills. And then I said to him after a while, you'd be good fighting, you know. And his work ethic, he said to me, and the main thing he said to me once, he said, Sean, I've seen one of your lads going to Charlie Bowling wrestling. I was like, yeah. And he was like, can we go to other gyms? And I went, as long as you don't go to another MMA gym, I'm sweet. Go wherever you want. If you want to go and improve your boxing at a boxing gym, sound. If you want to go to a wrestling gym, sound. If you want to go to a BJJ class somewhere, sound. As long as your MMA gym's hammer, great. And that he's took that on board. And sometimes he goes does a bit of Thai boxing. He goes up to see Charlie wrestling, and he's here 5 nights a week. So sometimes he comes straight from Charlie Bowling wrestling to do a kickboxing class here. That's his work ethic. And he's been in the morning as well. Because he's a roofer and he gets rained off. He comes in the mornings. Can't get rid of him. But he's honestly, his work ethic second to none. He wants it. When someone the best thing is when you watch him and Tom Nichols Burton spar, because they both want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they know that good, heavy, hard spars only once a week. We only do it on a Saturday, right? Because I'm a big believer in looking after the brain.
Yeah.
They have a good, heavy, hard spar every Saturday. Tom said to me, same thing he said to me after when he won the tournament. Tom had knocked that kid out with the head kick. He said, sparring Ryan, sparring Tom has made me these fights easy.
Yeah.
You know when they're sparring each other in the gym, and especially if Bertie's here, because that man is dangerous. Bertie is dangerous. No one likes sparring Bertie. The big kid we got from Cameroon, he's unbelievable. And listen, and his record's 0-2 as pro. You look at his record and you think he'd have a terrible record. You think he'd be terrible, but he to be honest with you, he doesn't really come alive fight day. He needs to wake up fight day a little bit more. I think he sees it like it's a spar, you know. But he's dead laid back cat, you see. But he's got these guys he's sparring with, and he comes in and he's like, where are they? He wants them in the gym. It's not like I don't have anyone in the gym who doesn't look for an hard spar. You know, a fighters class on a Saturday, the big lads go with the big lads, the small lads go with the small lads, but they give each other hard rounds. Sometimes you'll get someone like Danny Randolph who'll go with him and give him. Danny Randolph fights at 66 kilos. He's fighting the middleweight, and Danny will give him hard rounds.
Yeah.
So it's just his work ethic is going back to the original question. I know I'm going on, but very good, very very good.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Good deal. So obviously, with like the skill that he's got, the work ethic, the mind, and that for you, like, where can we see Ryan in a few years, in your opinion?
That is completely. I've got really good. I mean, I work with both. Some gyms don't. I work with both the bigger promotions that people are working with in the Northwest. If it's not the UFC, which is the ultimate goal, I think, for most people. But we fought on every other show in the world.
Yeah.
So I think we're the only gym in Merseyside that's fought on KSW. I think we're the only gym in Merseyside that's fought on EFC South Africa as well. So, and we fought on M1 Global in Russia. So we fought on all them weird shows out in the middle of nowhere. ACB, yeah, fought in Grozny in bloody Chechnya. You know what I mean? So, you know, I've got to travel to some weird and wonderful places in this job. But the answer to Ryan is it depends what Ryan wants, whether Ryan wants his career to be abundant with money early, or whether he wants to pursue the long-term goal of being a worldwide global brand. So we need to sit down with Ryan, because we could go the Cage Warriors route, I think, with Ryan, or we could go the Bellator route. Now, I don't like using them terms, and I would never use the shows against each other. It'd basically be up to Ryan. It wouldn't be up to me. If Ryan wanted to chase the UFC, we'd go to Cage Warriors. If Ryan wanted to fight on Bellator, you know, after a couple of good wins as a pro, we might be able to make that happen as well. You know what I mean? Bellator might not give him a second look. Cage Warriors might not give him a second look, but I think he's that standard. If that's your answer.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, for you, Ryan, then let's ask you. So, where you're at now, where would you like to be?
What when I do go pro?
Yeah, like, do you want to be like in UFC? Do you want to go the Bellator route? Like, where would you like to be in the next few years?
Obviously, I think anyone wants to fight in the UFC. It's like the biggest. It's like the biggest thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I went watching the Dublin card, the Bellator, when Bobby Pallett fought.
Yeah.
I think that standard was probably like up there with UFC. Like the arena was sold out. Probably the best atmosphere I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Everything about it just looks
12,000 sellouts, and everyone sung their hearts out all night.
12,000 Irish, just mental Irish people singing.
Yeah. So, would you say that's where you want to go then? That's where you would aim towards?
It was an amazing experience. And Ryan's half Irish, you see, so Ryan really.
Okay.
So and as am I. So
Yeah.
but we found our English genetics out there a little bit, because obviously my dad used to say to me when I was a kid, "You're English, you were born here," and I was saying to Ryan, he hated the English, like he didn't like the English. Yeah, and me and Ryan were buzzing off it, but the other English people were getting really pissed off with it.
Yeah.
I grew up with my granddad living in Liverpool, hating the fucking English. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is a thing, isn't it? No, I mean, it is what
definitely
it is.
Liverpool, definitely Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Okay, you're in the middle of an expansion of the gym, aren't you, Sean? Could you talk a bit about that and what like people can expect who might want to join the gym?
Yeah. I mean, we're more or less coming towards the tail end of everything we've done. So we've got, as you know, we've got a very big gym here. It's fucking very big bills anyway, I know that. But yeah, so you can. It's it's a fair big gym. That's only one room. That's 4,000 square foot. I've got downstairs that we used to rent out to another studio, another bodybuilding gym, and they've moved. So they've left an empty space. Needed a lot of work because they tore everything out that they put in. So we needed to redo everything again. I've spent a lot of money on strength and conditioning, bodybuilding equipment. So I'm going to have a full 4,000 square feet strength and conditioning, bodybuilding, fitness suite right underneath Hamma. It's always been my dream. I've always been, anyone who knows me and has seen me at shows knows I'm quite a big, large guy who lifts weights, right? And I think sometimes when you see me move, to surprise, because a lot of people think I'm a bodybuilder, I'd be quite surprised when they've tried to fight me, right? Especially on the door for years. But anyway, when you get head kicked, that's when they're surprised. So going back to it, downstairs we'll just put the icing on the cake for us. So the lads don't have to go be a member at JJB. I mean, and literally the equipment I bought is the best equipment. Plate loaded stuff that you see in the biggest commercial gyms in Europe. I've put my life savings into it, so it's been a big ask. The lads have really helped me as well, because people don't know I'm the head coach of Hamma, but I only work and do my PTs and take a wage off my PTs. I had a bit of an issue with alcohol up till about 2 years ago, and I had sort of a breakdown, if I'm being honest. And I don't mind talking about that, but I've come back a much stronger man, a much stronger individual. I always, when I was a kid, I always wanted to have a bodybuilding gym. But obviously, martial arts was my hobby, and I knew a lot more about martial arts than I ever did bodybuilding. And as soon as I got myself bang off the ale and I got myself focused, I saved a bit of money. Luckily enough, I got paid out a few quid while we were shut for COVID. So I got some businesses here. So I got 3 payments. I put that into it. I put that in again to it. So it literally is be all or end all, because it's absolutely my dream to have a fitness bodybuilding gym with my martial arts gym, where over the last 10 years we built a good name for ourselves. So it's nice for one of the best teams to have one of the best facilities, and that's what I wanted to do. basically.
Yeah.
It's open to everyone.
Definitely.
It's open to the general public.
Yeah. So everyone just get down there. Yeah.
Yeah, fitness.
Down. Yeah.
Based on the Hamma MMA. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like sort of encapsulating everything that you do in it. You hint at the bodybuilding, the MMA. So to be able to provide all that as a service, must be good for you.
Because I used to get for years when people didn't know who the gym was when we were first making our name, and on the site used to go, "That you said with the bins," you know what I mean? That was me. You know that big you said with the bins who walks all the fighters out. Yeah, that's what you do. Like you just lift weights and then you can teach people how to fight. That's how it works.
Yeah, yeah. So you've highlighted a few there, but can you highlight some of the fighters that are coming out the gym that we can expect to see as well?
Yeah, I mean, I did mention them before briefly. We've got a couple. I've got a young kid who's 57 slash Bantam. Thug Joe, Thug Joe fucking Frodgem, I'm gonna call him Joe Frodgem. He fought. Yeah, he looks like, he won't like me saying this, but he looks like Namajunas. He looks like Rose Namajunas. He fucking does. Right, so we're calling him Thug Joe Frodgem, right? And this kid, he's in here as much as Ryan is, and he's at full-time college. And he comes in and he's, I'm going to give a big shout out to Joe because he's doing really well. And I've got another young kid, Jamie Pio, who is a tremendous kickboxer, another 57 slash bantamweight, but they spar together all the time. Jamie Pio Senior's son, it was his 18th birthday yesterday, Jamie. He's a cracking kid, he helps me in the gym a lot. And Joe does, Joe's staying tidy up, and like Ryan will, that we've got a good team here. And then going up, I've got an heavyweight, a young heavyweight. He's 16, Matt. Oh my God! When I say an heavyweight, he's 6'5", and he's 125 kilos. Right, he's 16 years old.
No.
He's 16, right? Big Matt, and he's coming through the ranks. He's got a lot to learn. Unfortunately, because he's such a big, powerful lad, he's not going to be able to fight for a couple of years because he's going to be fighting men, and I don't put 16-year-old man. I don't want to put a 16-year-old man into an heavyweight because that happened to me when I was a kid. Because when I was 16, I was fighting a plus 90 kilos kickboxer when I was 16. So, and I got fucking 2 bad hidings, and I would never do that because it scarred me mentally for a long time. So I always look after my fighters. But going up the weights, I've got Phil Bills who's come back heavyweight. He's just announced a fight with Jamie Acton, which should be a fucking barn baller. Because Jamie is ex-professional wrestler. Ex-professional rugby player. Sorry, wrestling. Professional rugby player, tremendous wrestler. And Phil Bills is just like the biggest, strongest human being I've ever felt in my life, and just hits like a train. So that's going to be a good fight. But Phil Bills is coming. But going back to the 2 middleweights who are coming through, you know about Tom and you know about Ryan because they've been on the scene a little bit and had to go. But I've got a middleweight who lost his debut on FCC, Mike Jewell. He's our Connor's best mate. They grew up together. He was playing professional football till he was 21 for Liverpool FC, playing for Liverpool. So, and he got released and he didn't know where he was going to go from there. And he thought, like, I'll give fighting a go. He's naturally one of the best clinical strikers I've ever seen in my life. He's so athletic. He's 6'5", fights at 84 kilos, walks around quite light, walks around about 88, 90 maybe. He's coming through, and then he's only 22, I think, Jewel. And then I've got Kane Walker coming through. Kane is again 6'4", 6'5", big, really looks like John Jones. I know people say that, but he's got like John Jones's build, more than facial build. He's that long, 85-inch reach, big, long, typical, very athletic black guy, and he's only 19, and he's coming through. But there's more. I mean, if I could sit here all night, I mean, we've got about 15, 20 kids coming through. The BJJ kids that are turning over. So what our Connor tends to do is, when they've done really well at BJJ comps, if they feel confident into going into the striking and the grappling, he always gives them a fundamental good grappling base before he sends them to the MMA classes, which when they come and then you have the scrambles, even if they don't know how to strike, a good MMA round will be a really good MMA round. Anyway, I've gone on too much. I couldn't talk in English.
You're okay. Isn't Mick Jewell on that card as well with Ryan?
He is. He is. He's a good kid. I think at the moment he's fighting a last minute replacement, so I'm not going to come on and tell you he's fighting this big killer. But to be honest with you, as long as the kid comes out and tries to fight him and Mick deals with him, it's just a good experience fighting in front of people, and that's basically what I want, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryan, I know you're looking for funding and that, aren't you, for your IMMAF? Can you tell me how they can help you with that?
I've got a GoFundMe page set up. The links on my Instagram and my Facebook, and then if anyone's interested, you can just contact me directly.
Yeah, definitely.
I've had quite a success so far, so hopefully that will sort itself out in the next couple of weeks.
Apart from his gob, he's sellable. Do you know what I mean? He's a good looking fella. Got the muscles. Just needs a bit of the cap.
He'll work on that. Yeah,
nah,
he'll be fine.
I was all right last time on the interview, and after my last fight, it's just these Insta lives I don't like.
Because you can see people joining that. And,
yeah.
you know,
I see people joining, and you think I'm going to say something stupid I can't take back.
I think people screen record
it. These young people don't worry about social media far too much, though. If I have got a bit of advice, is don't give a fuck about social media. Social media should be like a fucking. It should be used to make you better and help your life. But if it's hurting you, fucking get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, look at me. I'm not asked what people think about me. Fucking.
Mate, if you've got a thick skin like I have, just mate, it's just, you know what I mean. I run an MMA gym. Can you imagine the messages I get sent? I seriously cannot believe I could be here on. I could go on Joe Rogan and just read out messages people had sent to me from the internet, right? And we could just have like 3 hours of fun. It's hilarious. I just cock on my school. I do a lot of bag work. Seriously, right?
Is that what you get?
You think I could come straight into your fighters classes? And then I taught the kid, mate. Honestly, that's one of them, and that's one of thousands. I always say, yeah, come down.
Yeah, come down. Let's see how you get on. Just get pulverised by everyone else. So to finish, then, can you teach me a bit of Wiganese?
Go on, you can, lad.
Maybe another time.
Another time.
Go on.
What's one word that you use it in Wigan?
No, that one. No.
or eat.
Or eat.
Or eat.
How much is curry in Wigan? How much is curry in Wigan? A pound. See, I got a pound.
Nice. No, listen, that's been brilliant. For you, Ryan, is there anyone you want to thank?
Just everyone at Hamma, really. Last few months, everything's just really took off with all the fights, all the wins, and then obviously this IMMAF thing. So just want to thank everyone here, and then obviously people from other gyms what do work for me as well. Just want to thank them.
Yeah, I always say, I always appreciate if he goes anywhere else and he learns new things. I appreciate it as well myself. We're only on the planet to learn, aren't we? That's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great that you have that sort of open mentality to let him improve in other places. You know what I mean? So
I never go to another MMA gym, obviously, but I go to my boxing gym when I can. But I've been going there years. So I'll try and get there once a week now, and then I do a bit of wrestling in another gym now, and I've been doing a bit of Thai boxing in another gym the last 6 weeks, just in between my sessions here, just like extra sessions, really.
It's funny because he goes to the gyms and then comes here.
Yeah, I don't miss any sessions here, like.
Yeah, regardless of how much you are, you still get that in because you just want to learn and be the best.
Yeah, that's it. You need to see it from like other people's points of views and like learn different bits off other people and work with other people, I think. Yeah. But obviously, all the main work, 80% of what I do is here.
You can't. I learned a long time ago. You can't learn all you need to learn off one coach. That's why I brought loads in. You just can't do it. Yeah. I tried it for years. I mean, I've done all right, to be honest with you. I got to a decent level, but for me to grow, I needed to learn off other coaches as well.
Yeah.
Different techniques, so, and I've got a bigger shout out to my coach, Tony Beddington. It's the only coach I've got, really. And I go up to him, and because he's such a big, strong, powerful man, You know, he teaches me a lot. I've been grappling for 20 years, but I've only been in the gi for about 5 or 6 years. So I'm learning a lot in the gi because I want to learn a new martial art, and learning the gi is a new martial art, and that's what I would leave. That would be my dying statement: is always push yourself to learn new things, always, especially in fighting. Especially in fighting, he comes in and shows me new stuff all the time. Can we go with this? He goes, Gaffer, can we go with this? And it's like a fucking combination. I'll think, shit, I don't know that one, you know. but it's just he throws shots on weird angles, Ryan, and he likes coming off, and he loves the art of striking. He loves it, and so do I. It's my biggest love.
Yeah, that unpredictability and that in it.
Yeah.
Definitely. You're looking for sponsors as well, mate. Anyone who's interested, you want to let them know where they can find you and how they can sponsor you for your fight.
Just find me on. Just give me a message on Instagram, and then obviously we can sort something out. If anyone's interested, just give me a shout.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So listen, good luck in your upcoming fight. Where you're gonna do well. Probably get a knockout again. You know,
knockout or submission. I don't think it'll go all 3 rounds. One or two.
Yeah.
Without being disrespectful to him, he's a good lad, but I just think I'm on another level.
Yeah.
1 or 2 rounds should be.
Have that confidence in yourself that you're better. Definitely. Good luck in your fight, your upcoming fight, the one in February. Good luck with IMMAFs. I don't know. I appreciate you both coming on. It's been great. It's been great to speak to you as well, Sean. I know we've had a few conversations, so it's been great to speak to you properly.
Listen, I appreciate you exposing. He's a young kid, and I know I've robbed the fucking interview. I'm sorry about that, but he's a young kid, and he's got. I think honestly, he's got a massive future.
Yeah, absolutely. In time, we'll air that mouth a bit more, won't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, good, mate. Listen, I'll let you get off. I know you have finished training not too long ago, so take it easy and thank you.
Yeah, all right, nice one. See you later. Nice one, kid.
Yeah, thank you.